Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with another layout for the Cherry on Top Weekly Sketch Challenge. I guess not four, but that's what I am following along with this week. I am going to be using the Discover and Create collection from Vicki Boutin. I absolutely love this pencil paper and found a couple of last day of school photos, so I will be documenting those. So in the layout, they have 5x5 photos. I'm going to be using smaller photos because I have these two dies here. One's kind of a Polaroid and the other one's a stamp, and I want to try to figure out which one to use. In the sketch, they kind of had it overlapping the photo. I'm just going to have it frame the photo. I just don't have a great background, I guess. I feel like to overlap the photo, it's just the garage door. So I don't feel like I need more of that door on the layout than necessary. So I wanted to figure out a color to cut these out. I am going to go with the stamp one. Ideally, I would have liked to use red, but there really wasn't a red in the pencils. So I am going to use kind of like the rust orange color. And I guess the reason I would have liked red is that my son kind of has that buffalo plaid shirt on. So I just kind of would have liked to match that, but again, there wasn't really any bright red in the pencils. So now I'm going to cut down my photos a little bit and end up kind of just taping these stamps onto my photos. So in the very beginning, you saw that I did cut, I think it's a 3/4 inch strip off of the pencils. I saw somebody else do this on a layout with this specific paper, and I really liked that, and so I cut that off and then taped it over to the left hand side to kind of bring over that color to the other side of the page. So in the sketch, they had a couple of different, looked like pattern papers. This one here I cut about 4.5 by 4.5. I am just trying to use up some scraps and bring in more of the colors of the pencils to the layout. And then they kind of had another paper offset, and so I decided to use a blue paper, and at first I thought I would have to cut it larger, but then I realized with it being offset, I could still just cut it 4.5 by 4.5. And so that is what I end up doing with this blue paper as well. I have enough scraps for one of the squares, unfortunately not enough for both, so I did have to go in and grab a full sheet of this blue. And I guess the reason I picked this collection, there are a handful of kind of school-like embellishments, and with being inside right now, I had this one with me. I didn't have any of my other school collections, and so this worked out really nice. I was able to scrapbook these older photos while using what I had inside. So you can see I'm trying to figure out how to kind of overlap them, and because you could tell in the sketch that the photos kind of overlapped each other, which obviously mine are a little bit smaller, so it didn't really work that way, but I do kind of overlap the two green papers. So I absolutely love the alpha from this collection. I ended up using so much of it that I bought a second pack. So you can see I'm kind of going through and figuring out which letters I have, I guess, from the first pack to try and use up as many as I can from that before I get into the second pack. So in the sketch, the title's on kind of that top right where it says, or is going to say, last day. And then they had journaling on the bottom left where it's going to say second grade. But I decided to kind of split up the title. It was long, I guess, and it kind of helped fill in both of those areas. So it might not be journaling, so to speak, but I was able to kind of bring some phrases or part of my title down to fill in that left-hand side as well. I did decide to pop up my photos on some foam tape. As I was creating this one, I realized I need to make sure that I have more. I'm pretty sure I have some in the she shed. I will have to go find that or figure out where I put it if I did indeed bring some inside. We are not very close, I don't think, to me getting back out to the she shed. Usually Easter is my goal, only because we tend to host Easter, and this year it's the end of April, so I might hang out inside until it actually really, really warms up outside. It still is hard to warm up the she shed if it's not kind of in the 30s, I would say. We've had a couple warm days, but nothing consistent. So we'll be inside a little bit longer. So you can see I am finally getting into that second pack and finishing out my title here. I got into the ephemera. They had tickets kind of on the left-hand side of that photo up the top and then the right-hand side of the bottom photo, but I don't have any that I really felt fit, I guess. And so instead I decided to kind of bring in those school-like elements. So a paintbrush and a pencil, and then I found a phrase that says time to chill, and I just thought that was so fun because it is the last day. I just thought it was so appropriate. So as I was creating, I realized I left such a large space at the top right of the layout. You know, there's pencils, but there's not really anything else up there, nor do I know how or what to embellish with up there. So I tried to move the title up a little bit, but it was too stuck and I didn't want to ruin the letters, so I moved on. I remembered I had bought the the flare box from Scrap and Happy Studio that went with this collection. So I did go in to pull those to see if I could use any of those, and I won't actually end up using one till the very end of the layout. But now I kind of, trying to figure out again what to use, wanting to find some more school embellishments. I do have the paper repack, but they're just so thin, or the washi. I just have so many patterns going on that I didn't think the washi would stand out. So I didn't really take the time to look in there. I'm sure there are some school elements in there, but I didn't look. Instead, on the foam stickers, I found a pair of scissors and a paper clip, so I decided to use those to add a different texture to the layout, some more dimension too, and then a couple of hearts just filled in those spots really nicely. This is where I kind of am stuck, kind of wondering what I'm going to use. They had kind of like arrows, the 3 kind of separate arrows in a row, and so I decided just to use that black one pointing over to that photo. And then there are quite a few smaller elements on the sticker sheet, and so I thought, I'll try to add a small cluster up to the top right just to add something up there. And I kind of mimicked that cluster down on the bottom, or I guess middle, down there as well. And then there's tiny gold stickers, so I just scattered those throughout as well. Again, just kind of trying to use up some of the smaller pieces and add some more color, I guess, to the collection. I remembered I had the sticker book, and so I went through and saw these phrases, and again, because the journaling was supposed to be on the bottom left, I thought maybe I could add some phrase stickers instead. And so they have some black ones, they have some white ones, and so I did find 3 and kind of alternated the black and white, and kind of staggered them a little bit as well. And I thought that kind of made that little cluster of stars and hearts down there not feel out of place. And so it really kind of brings that all together down there. I did decide to add another star and a gold little dot to fill in the space between the phrase stickers. And then this is kind of where I'm thinking, I don't know what else to add. This was bothering me that, I don't know, I guess I didn't tape it down as well as I should have. And that bottom right of that top photo was sticking up. So I did add a small foam sticker there. Added another star to the top just to, again, use them up, bring some black maybe to that cluster over there. And then this is finally where I go into the flares and pick an epoxy one just to kind of slide under that top corner, and again kind of make those, or that cluster up there, not seem so out of place. So that is going to finish off this layout. I will link the Discover and Create collection down below. Definitely check out A Cherry on Top's weekly sketch challenge. It's helped me kind of scrapbook some photos maybe that I have just been passing by. So yeah, check it out for inspiration. But I hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and we will see you next time. Bye guys.